Welcome everybody, it's Unstoppable Stilezzi here, and I got an Age of Empires 3 Wars of Liberty Radmin VPN setup tutorial for you now. People for a while now have been asking me, is there any sort of tutorial out there on how to set up Wars of Liberty and Radmin VPN together for multiplayer? And so far all that we have is this video right here from Jeff. However, it is in Espanol, so it's not going to be as beneficial to the English speakers, right? So I'm here right now to sort of give you the rundown of how to do it from start to finish pretty much. So we're going to go over each of the steps here. That is in the Wars of Liberty multiplayer Discord server, by the way. If you have not joined that yet, certainly go check it out. That's where everybody goes to organize games nowadays. I mean, you can still organize in the official Wars of Liberty Discord too, but this one's a little bit more oriented towards gameplay. Yeah, so these are the steps that you're going to need to follow, right? First step here, you got to download the Radmin VPN off of their website, right? And they got an installer for that, so it should be pretty easy to do. I don't think you'll run into any problems with that. If you do, always ask the tech support people over there why it's not installing or whatever. But once that's installed, you're going to be able to do some things to connect to our VPN network right away. So step 2 over here says join the Wars of Liberty network on the VPN. So to do that, you actually need to go into this little area here, find the icon that looks like this, Radmin VPN, and you're going to want to open this, right? So look right here. This is the Wars of Liberty online Radmin network that we use. I also have another one up here. And then this down here is an older one that I had. So basically, you don't only have to do Wars of Liberty with this. You could do this with just about any game that supports Radmin VPN. So it's pretty cool in that sense. Anything that uses LAN. Now, if you're running a particular tournament or anything and you want to have a private network, you can definitely create one here and enter a network name followed by a password for people to join. So a bunch of random people don't just jump in, right? Yep. But what you're trying to do is actually join our server here, our network. So to do that, you're going to have to go to join network, right? And see this right here, Wars of Liberty network. You're going to have to enter that up here. This password, 123456, is going to go into the password field here, right? And once you do that, you're going to press join. And then once you do that, if everything's all set, you will be in this network over here, right? And you'll be able to see who's online based on these little bars, right? And show how strong their connection is, right? So Captain Link only has 2 bars, so it's not as good as Aladdin Topak, who has 3 bars, and people that are offline are obviously not going to have any bars at all, right? So I think I'd point that out to you. So now, step 3. Next, we will create the executable that will do it. So it's not enough to just join our network. You actually have to do some stuff with your game's code, or particularly an executable file to run it properly. So to do that, we have to go into our Wars of Liberty directory, whatever that is. This is mine. You might have a different one. And you need to locate this executable right here, h3y.exe, right? And what you need to do is you need to right-click it and say create, let's see, show more options, right? You actually have to create a desktop shortcut like this. See that right there? And then you have to locate that desktop shortcut. Normally they're going to be all the way down here if you just created one. And you can either leave it here, or even smarter, you can put it in the desktop section here so you can see it on your UI and you can just click right on it. It's usually smart just to do that. So what I would recommend that you do is rename it to something that you'll remember, like Age of Empires 3 Wars of Liberty Radmin, so you know the difference between the normal executable and the Radmin one, right? And after that, now you basically have to do some stuff to it here. So What you're going to do now is you're going to open this thing up with properties. Notice how I right-clicked onto the file, right, the desktop shortcut, and I looked for properties, right? Once you do that, you're going to have to edit some stuff here. So notice here how you have something called target. So in order to set up it with Radmin VPN, you are actually going to need to basically add this bit of code in there like this, pretty much. So let's say I'm copying this right here, and then you would basically go all the way over here, basically, right? And you would put this in right there, right? Now, in order for it to run, you need to basically get the IP address of the of your thing here. This one, I think, this one. So mine unstoppable Stletsy would be this one. Please don't dox me, and then I will paste it in over here, right? So all this random text that we add in, I'm going to delete all of it until we get to about here. So do that, and then you paste it like that, okay? So basically the most important part of this is going to be this tidbit right here, this. Override address equals double quote the IP address of your Radmin console here, which would be this one, right? So you're going to have to take it right here, copy that, and insert it right into this string, right? Override address equals double quotes this. Okay. So now that once that's done, you will actually be able to play multiplayer with other people, provided you know your Wi-Fi, your internet, and everything is up and running, right? Sometimes people have had a couple of issues connecting, but it's pretty rare. Radmin VPN on average is going to run much better than Game Ranger or really on any other platforms, right? And basically, if you don't know, a number of months ago, ESO Online was shut down on the legacy games, so you no longer have that option, right? So you either got to go to Game Ranger and deal with the problems there, or thankfully come over to this Radmin platform and use that instead. All right? And, yep, basically you would use the LAN thingy to do it, right? So let's say you wanted to check for games, right? You would basically go in like this, load it up, and then basically what you would do is you would wait for it to load, loading, and loading, right? And some more loading, and some more loading, and some more loading. Oh, it's still loading, huh? It's taking a while. That's fine. Alright, so basically you have to go into here, multiplayer, and then LAN. Then once you get into LAN, you will usually see lobbies here, right, if people are hosting. Nobody's hosting right now since it's midnight, but if people are hosting, you would be able to join in a game over here, right? Now, the cool thing is, since this is a shared network between each other, it's actually possible to see multiple lobbies here in this area, right? It's totally possible you could come in one day and see there's like 2 or even 3 or 4 lobbies here. So, yeah, hopefully in the future we're going to have a lot more people thanks to this tutorial, and we'll see lobbies in here all day and night. That's what I'm hoping for, you know? That's what we're trying to aim for, right? So, okay. That's our little tutorial pretty much. And if you have any questions, certainly let me know, okay? Otherwise, this was a good tutorial for you, and I'm signing off now. See you next time.